Hello everyone, hope you all are doing good. And in this video, I'll be covering my notes on the DP 900 exam. So I have recently cleared this exam, and like I have studied from the official Microsoft website. Like this is, I'll provide you the link. Okay, and from these learning paths, I have made my notes. So all these notes are structured in a way that are defined in the official website. So as you can see, it has four learning paths, and each and every learning path has contained some modules. So this, like the initial learning path, the fundamental, it has got two modules. So if we open this module, so this is the core data concepts and explore data roles and services. So as we can see in our notes that I have made my notes in such a way that core data concepts are covered here, and similarly the second module, so explore data role and services, this is module 1.2. Like first is the learning path, and this is the second module. Okay, so let us start going through my notes, and I'll explain you the basic structure that will surely help you to clear this exam. So let us start. So in the first part, the explore data concept, uh, this is pretty basic and introduction. Okay, so in it will be like what the common data formats. So data formats are structured. That means that have fixed schema. Like if we have a row and column, this is an employee table, and it has contains some rows and columns. So this is fixed schema, and this is structured. Okay, now semi-structured is JSON. As you can see that it has got some key and pair, and this particular pair can contain a set. Okay, so this is semi-structured, and unstructured is something that is like an audio file or video file. We don't have any idea about the what is inside a video file. It has contained some data, but how that data is saved in the memory, we are not sure about it. That's why it is unstructured. Got it? Now, like how are we going, whether it is structured or unstructured, how are we going to save this data in our file? So for that, either it can be like if we have the plain text, we can save it in CSV, JSON, or like there are a couple of other file formats. This is not important, but surely this is important because in my exam I have got two questions out of this. So they're like they'll this is like the JSON is very important. They will simply ask you what kind of data structure, like data format is JSON. So you have to pick semi-structured. Got it? Now after that, how are we going to store the data in databases? For that we have relational and non-relational database, and in the future, uh, like uh, we have we have got a separate module for the relational and non-relational database, and this is pretty important. The graph one, we'll see later in the syllabus. So again, the transaction type, the asset properties, these are very important. I have got at least five questions, believe me. Out of 43 questions, five questions are from this asset properties. They will simply ask you that if a transaction, and in this also, like just go through what is atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. So by atomicity, what we means is that like either a transaction will pass or fail. So simply, let's say I have 5 rupees, okay, and I have transferred 2 rupees to my friend. So let us understand this way that I am Shailesh and my friend is Vaibhav. So I have 10 rupees and I have lent 2 rupees to Vaibhav. So now I should be I should be with 8 rupees and Vaibhav is at 2 rupees. Initially he was at 0. So this way, this sum should always be 10. Okay, and if my plus 2 transaction is failed, then this should be 0 and this should be 10. Okay, so this is atomicity, that whether a single transaction should fail, and if it is failing, then it is reverting back. Okay, consistency means from one state to another. So if I'm transferring, this is a valid state, and my account is getting debited, that is a different state. Okay, and similarly, isolation means that if I am transferring to WebHub, that means at the same time, if I'm also looking at my ATM and looking at my balance, so there, initially it should give me 10, and after my transfer, it should give me 8. Okay, that is isolation because concurrent at the time of me transferring to my friend, like whatever the amount that is present at a particular moment should be like visible to me. Okay. And by durability, we means that right now, let's say we are in database 1, DB1, and tomorrow if this database fails and we are shifting to DB2, then whatever transactions were made here should be replicated here also, and we don't need to put too much effort. So it is in there, whatever it is there in database 1 should be present in database 2. Okay, and for end user, database actually doesn't matter. So this is durability, and this is regarding the characteristics of data processing. This is also important because, like this diagram, the reason I have taken this diagram is because, you can be present with a diagram and ask you that how are we going to, like, what is this number one? This is data files. Okay, and here the ETL is happening. This is data warehouse, and again, this is my analytical model. So this data is very important. And here, like whatever we have put, so this is Power BI reports. Okay, so just go through it. It is also important. Now coming to data roles and services, again I have got around 2 to 3 questions from this part, because they are going to ask you that what is the role of database administrator, what is the role of data engineer, analyst, and scientist. These are very like similar sounding terms, but there is a difference. Like the administrator is whatever whatever the data is inside the database. So let's say this is my database and this is my data. So whatever the data that is present inside the database and how users are going to access this database. So this is the responsibility of a database administrator. Got it? Data engineer will take care of, let's say we have couple of more databases and how the data is going between 2 or 3 databases. Okay, and the privacy of the data in the cloud. So this is my cloud on a whole. So that is the responsibility of data engineer. And a data analyst will help us in creating charts, the Power BI report, and helping organizations to take informed decision. Just look at these terms, because these terms will be asked in questions. So a question can be simply asked by that, uh, who we, like with the help of whom we can take informed decisions. So if it is decisions or reports something, so just go with data analyst. Okay, after that, like the data scientist, so that will dig more into the data and will give us a more clear picture on the data that is present inside the database. Got it? And now the common cloud services, this is like you can just go through it, not that much important, but like this part is important because again I remember I have got a question from this part. Just know the difference between database, managed instance, and VM. Whenever you see this term VM, that means that is infrastructure as a service. Okay, and all these are platform as a service. And what are the third one? Third ones are software as a service, SaaS. Okay, so what are the example of SaaS? Like your Office 365, your Adobe Acrobat. Like that is not a part of Microsoft Azure, but just for information, like any software that is hosted on cloud is software as a solution. Okay, and these are just the solutions. So that is platform. They are providing you a platform. On this platform, you can build whatever you want. Okay, and this Azure database for relational database. This is for MySQL, MariaDB, PostgreSQL. So just go through it. Again, the CosmoDB and storage, like what are the different kind of storages. So blob container is similar to S3 in AWS. I'm also AWS certified, that's why like I always try to connect these concept with what I have learned in the AWS part. So for me, the blob containers are more like S3, in which you can say whatever you want. Okay, and you can also like file share is EFS. So that is like a network drive, and whatever information which you want that after your computer is switched off, so you can save that information on the file. Okay, the data factory, synapses, analytics, databricks, hd insight, these are different kind of database, like the solutions in which you can save your information. Okay, and relational data. So this is, we are coming to module 2. We are just completed with learning path 1, and after that, like, how are we going to explore the relational data? So similarly, I have made my notes. So relational data concepts, in which normalization is very important, just go through it. Okay, and again, like what we have discussed previously, that if it is a VM, that is infrastructure as a service, your managed instance are PaaS, and the SQL database is also a PaaS. Okay, just remember what do you mean by SQL Edge? It is for streaming time data series and open source database in Azure. So, what do you mean by open source? Open source are those like which are not licensed, and let's say your MySQL. Okay, and you can use Azure services to use your MySQL over it. Okay, again, like the MariaDB is for Oracle DB, and that is like this is MySQL, but it improves the efficiency, and similarly the PostgreSQL SQL. Okay, and after this, like the module 3 is related to non-relational one, and just go through the notes and you will understand like what are the different services with which Azure, and in the actual part there will also be a like practice set. So just don't skip that. So if I take an overview, so see these exercises. I have gone through it, and I like strongly recommend you to go through these exercise, and it is beneficial for you so that in the exam you can recollect whatever you have practiced. And again, we have talked about the blob storage. This is kind of like S3. Yeah, this thing is very important. I was looking at it. The access tires. So anything that is frequently accessed is going to be in hot tier, and like firstly you will put it in hot, then cold, then archive. Okay, and there was a question I remember that like if you are picking up something, if you are like if you are extracting data from the archive database, in which tier it will go? So it will go first in cool tier, and after that, like you can access it in hot tier. But whatever you are extracting from the archive, it will definitely go in the cool tier. Okay, then the data lake. This is also very important. Okay, we have talked about Azure files, and in the module like 3.2. So if we just open this, uh, this is our third module 3.2. Let me just close this and see, this is regarding the CosmoDB. Okay, so this is regarding the NoSQL database service and what all we can use with the CosmoDB. Again, that is not very important, but I recommend you to just go through it. Just know the basic, like the gremlin. So how I remembered is that like G for gremlin, G for graph. So whenever you see CosmoDB for Apache Gremlin, just remember graph. G for gremlin, G for graph. Okay. Similarly, for Cassandra, C for column. If you see like which service of CosmoDB are we going to use for the column data? So whenever you see column, just remember C for column, C for Cassandra. Similarly, if we see graph, G for graph, G for Gremlin. So that's how I used to like mug it. So again, like these are short tricks which I'm sharing with you, and like this is the large scale data warehousing. Just like this is the architecture, ingestion pipelines. Okay, again, who is going to make the pipelines? Just tell me the answer. Okay, so we have four options. Is it the database administrator, scientist? Okay, so let us go through. and let us try to see who is responsible for creating the pipelines. So if we see pipelines, see implementing pipelines, that is the role of data engineer. Okay, so that is how you have to link up the concepts between two different modules. Okay, and yeah, we were here. After this, like the data warehouse, data lake. Okay, and just remember the diagram which I have shown earlier. And in the real-time analytics, this is also very important, the batch and stream process. So batch is something which is like done in batch. So anything, let's say, uh, after every 24 hours, okay, you are running a batch process. So that will go into batch, and stream is just like you are streaming a live match. So by name only you can like differentiate whether it is a batch process or a stream process. Okay, and again like you can be asked like what all services like real-time analytics can you use in Azure. So these are some like stream analytics, that is platform as a service, data explorer, etc. And this is regarding the visualization. So once you have like extracted everything what you want, you have to showcase it to your management. So for this, like we have Power BI. Again, that's a short like module, but just go through it, and I'm sure like these notes are enough for you to clear this exam. And I'll link down these notes in the description box. And in case you have any doubt or you want to ask me something regarding this exam, just like schedule a talkmate call. That link is also present in the description box. Just go through it, and I'll try to help you out. And in case you have enjoyed this video, just hit that like button. It will surely help me to create more such content in future. And that's it guys. In my previous video I have like I have given a detailed view of this exam, how I took it, and what are the things which you have to keep in mind, and how exactly can you schedule this exam, what was the fees, how you can take this exam for free. So all these questions are answered in my previous video. If you haven't watched, just go and watch that. I'll also link it down. And I hope you will like benefit out of this document, and I'll provide you the link of this document in the description box. Okay, and most probably that will be like I'll update it on my LinkedIn, and from there like you can also have a view. And in case we are not connected over LinkedIn, just send me a request over there, and there also I post these kind of stuff regularly. So that's it guys. I hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Bye.